Today we are going to start up with the new chapter Atoms and Molecules. So before we start, let us see what Maharshi Kannada, the great scientist, has said. He said that if we go on dividing matter, which is called as Padarth, a Sanskrit name, so we are going to get smaller and smaller particles. What are these smaller particles called? So a Greek philosopher Democritus, he called these small particles, these indivisible particles as atoms. Atoms means indivisible. So another scientist named Lavoisier, he gave two important laws of chemical combination which we are going to study in this chapter. The first one is law of conservation of mass and the second one is law of constant proportion. So let us see first what is law of conservation of mass. So first we are going to take an ignition tube. It is simple like a small test tube, and in that we have taken some 1.25 grams of copper sulfate, and to that we added 10 ml of water so that it forms a solution of copper sulfate. And in a conical flask we have taken 1.43 grams of sodium carbonate and mixed up with 10 milliliters of water, and it forms sodium carbonate solution. Na2CO3 is a formula of sodium carbonate. So now what you are going to do is you are going to take this ignition tube and you are going to put it in this conical flask. Slowly you have to tie this tube with a thread and slowly insert it so that they will not mix up. So here in this we are having copper sulfate solution, and in the conical flask we are having sodium carbonate solution. So you should be careful that both of them will not be mixed. After inserting it with a thread, you are going to fix it up with a cork. So here we have got a cork and this is a thread. Now what you are going to do is slowly we are going to measure the mass of the conical flask with the contents. So along with the contents which are present in it, slowly you are going to measure it. This is about step 1. Now step 2, what you are going to do is shake that conical flask. This conical flask is there, no? You are going to shake the entire thing. Then what will happen? The contents in this as well as the contents in the conical flask, they get reacted. And now after the reaction is done, you are going to measure the flask again. What you observe is the mass of the flask before the reaction will be equal to the mass of the flask after the reaction. That means there will not be any change in the mass of the entire conical flask before the reaction as well as the after the reaction. So we have the definition of law of conservation of mass is that mass can neither be created nor destroyed. That means no new mass is formed after the reaction as well as there is no loss of the mass. So mass is conserved. That means new mass is not created and old mass is not destroyed. So mass can neither be created nor destroyed. This is law of conservation of mass. Now let us see the second law, that is law of constant proportion. This was given by a scientist Proust. He said that in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite proportions by mass. For example, you are taking water molecule. You know the formula of water, H2O. It contains 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. And we already know atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 and atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So you are going to take the ratio of mass of hydrogen and mass of oxygen. How many atoms of hydrogen are there? 2. 2 into each mass of hydrogen atom is 1. So 2 into 1 is 2. How many atoms of oxygen are there? 1. Carrying an atomic mass of 16. So 2 into 1 is 2. 1 into 16 is 16. So 1 is to 8. One more example, NH3, ammonia. Atomic mass of nitrogen is 14. Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. Here you are going to calculate the ratio of mass of nitrogen is to mass of hydrogen. How many atoms of nitrogen are there? Only 1. Of atomic mass, 14. So 1 into 14. How many atoms of hydrogen are there? 3 into 1, because each hydrogen atomic mass is 1. So 14 is to 3 is the answer. Coming to next example, carbon dioxide. Atomic mass of carbon is 12 and oxygen is 16. Mass of carbon is to mass of oxygen. How many atoms of carbon are there? 1. Each carrying atomic mass 12. So 1 into 12 is to how many atoms of oxygen are there? 2. 2 into each atomic mass is 16. So 12 is to 32. If you divide it by 4, you will get 3 is to 8. This is law of constant proportion. Concept of atomicity. What is meant by atomicity? The number of atoms which are present in one molecule of an element or compound. The number of atoms which are present in one molecule of an element or compound, you call it as atomicity. Now let us see what are the types of atomicity. Monoatomic, the word itself, mono means single. So the element which can exist as a single atom are carbon and noble elements. Noble elements means which do not react with any other elements. They are stable in nature. They follow octet rule. They are xenon, neon, argon. These are all called as noble elements. They can exist as single elements like He, Ar, Ne, Xe. They can exist. Then diatomic. Di means two. So two atoms of oxygen. Oxygen will always exist as either O2 or O3. So a diatomic example, you have O2, fluorine F2, chlorine Cl2, bromine Br2. They cannot exist as single Cl, Br. They cannot exist. They will exist as Cl2 or Br2 like that. Triatomic means this element can exist as O3. Tetraatomic means which can exist as 4 atoms. So here the number of atoms present in that particular molecule is P4. So tetra means 4. Octatomic means S8. Sulfur can exist as S8. So polyatomic means which can exist as more than 2 or 3 atoms, you call it as polyatomic. Now let us see the symbols which are derived from the Latin names of the elements. So let us see some English name. We call it as sodium. Symbol is Na, but its Latin name is natrium. Since it has come from Latin name, we have given the symbol Na. Then potassium, whose symbol is K because it has come from the Latin name kalium. Then silver has come from the Latin name argentum, so you call it as Ag. And gold has come from the Latin name aurum, so its symbol is Au. Then mercury, it has come from the Latin name hydrargyrum. So its symbol is Hg. So this is about your diatomic as well as symbols which are derived from the Latin names of the elements. Now let us see what is meant by chemical formula. Means it is a shorthand notation to represent the name of the compound. For example, you have the compound magnesium chloride. You want to write the formula. So first step what you will do is you will write the symbols of magnesium and chlorine. First step is write the symbols magnesium and chlorine. Now underneath the magnesium, second step is you will write the valency. Valency of magnesium is 2 and valency of chlorine is 1. Criss-cross, that means magnesium will have Mg1 subscript and chlorine will get the subscript as 2. So Mg1 Cl2. So 1 you can leave it off. You can write the formula as MgCl2. Let us see another example, carbon dioxide. So step 1 is symbols we will write. Carbon symbol is C and oxygen symbol is O. So second step is valencies. Carbon valency is 4 and oxygen valency is 2. Now what you will do is criss-cross. So C will get 2 as subscript and O will get 4 as subscript. 2, 4. You can take the HCF of 2 and 4 is what? 2. So divide with 2. So 2 will go 1 time and 2 will go 2 times. So you will get CO2 is a formula. Now these are all simple chemical formula. Now let us see sulfuric acid. Here you are having hydrogen. The symbol of hydrogen is H and symbol of sulfate ion is SO4. And valency, the second step is valency of hydrogen is 1, valency of sulfate is -2. But how did I get this -2? So we will see how to get this sulfate ions valency. Sulfate SO4. So first element is sulfur. You will take the valence electrons of sulfur. How do you take the valence electrons of sulfur? What is atomic number of sulfur? 16. Electronic configuration is 286. Valence electrons are how many? 6. Next, coming to the second element, oxygen. What is the atomic number of oxygen? 8. Electronic configuration 2,6. Valence electrons means the last shell electrons. Valence electrons are 6. Valency is 8 minus 6, that is 2. So you got oxygen valency as 2 and valence electrons of sulfur is 6. Now you are going to use these two in the calculation. So how do you calculate sulfate? SO4. First element's valence electrons minus second elements. How many are there? 4. 4 into this oxygen's valency. So valence electrons of sulfur is how much? 6. Just now you calculated. So valence electrons of sulfur is 6. And 4 into valency of oxygen. Oxygen valency is how much? 2. So 4 into 2. So 6 minus 8 is minus 2. So this is how you are going to calculate the sulfate ion. Ion means you are getting a charged particle. So hydrogen valency is 1, already we know. So sulfate valency is minus 2. Criss-cross. So hydrogen will get 2 and sulfate will get 1. You can simply write it as H2SO4. So you can try for some more examples using this method. Bicarbonate and all is when by an atom, it is the smallest particle. It is the smallest particle of an element that can take part in a chemical reaction. Then what is meant by molecule? So it is the smallest particle of a substance. Either it may be an element or a compound which has the properties of that particular substance. So molecule means it is also the smallest particle of that particular substance. Either it may be an element or compound which has the properties of that substance that can exist in free state. Now molecules are classified into two types. Molecule of an element, for example single element you can take H2, O2, Cl2. Just now I have explained about diatomic, triatomic and all. They are all molecules only which can exist as diatomic, triatomic, polyatomic, like that. Then molecule of a compound means two elements combination. H2O, 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Combined you have H2O. This is a compound and this one you call it as molecule. HCl, combination of hydrogen and chlorine. NH3, ammonia. Then very important note is that the atomic radius, that means radius of an atom, is measured in nanometers. Nanometers means 1 meter is equal to 10 power 9 nanometers. For example, you have certain examples. Radius of atom of hydrogen. If you want to note the atom of hydrogen radius, it will be 10 power minus 10 meters. That means it will be very, very, very tiny. You cannot see with your ordinary eye. Then radius of molecule of water molecule is 10 power minus 9 meters. Now let us see Dalton's symbols, atomic symbols. In the olden days, how hydrogen used to be represented as in this way, sulfur in this structure, as well as phosphorus in this way. Now let us see what is Dalton's atomic theory. He has given certain postulates. All matter is made up of tiny particles called as atoms. Atoms are indivisible particles which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Third point, atoms of given element are identical in mass and chemical properties. That means if they belong to the same element, so what will happen? They will be having identity. They will be same in mass and chemical properties. But fourth one, atoms of different element. If you are taking about two different elements, they will be having different masses. Here you are taking HCl, one is hydrogen and this is chlorine. So what will happen? Two of them will be having different masses, as well as the properties also will be different. If you are talking about oxygen, O2, both the atoms of oxygen, they belong to the same category of oxygen, so they will have the same atomic mass as well as the chemical property is also same. That is what atoms of the given element, same element, are identical in mass and chemical properties, but atoms of different element will have different masses and chemical properties. Then atoms combine in the ratio of small whole numbers to form compounds. I have explained you how to calculate the ratio of atoms. Then the relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. So these are the postulates of Dalton's. What is relative atomic mass? It is nothing but it is a number of times one atom of that particular element is heavier than 1 by 12 times of mass of an atom of carbon 12. He has to compare with the 112 times of the mass of an atom of carbon 12, C12 atom. You are comparing the atomic mass with the because 1/12 mass of the C12 carbon atom. So relative atomic mass has got the formula as mass of one atom of the element divided by 1/12 the mass of one carbon 12, one C12 atom. So relative atomic mass, it is a number of times one atom of the element is heavier than 1/12 times of the mass of an atom of C12, carbon 12. Atomic mass, it is generally expressed in atomic mass unit. You call it as AMU. AMU, it is defined as 1/12 the mass of carbon 12 atom, C12 atom. Now let us see what is relative molecular mass. Relative molecular mass, this is going to represent how many times one molecule of the substance is heavier than 1/12 of the mass of an atom of C12. Here you are comparing with the mass of an atom of C12. Let us see an example how to calculate the relative molecular mass. I have given two examples. First one with relative molecular mass of cane sugar, C12H22O11. It is nothing but this is an entire molecule which contains 12 atoms of carbon, 22 atoms of hydrogen and 11 atoms of oxygen. So atomic mass in atomic mass unit, carbon atomic mass is 12, hydrogen is 1, oxygen is 16. Now let us calculate solution relative molecular mass of C12H22O11. How many carbons are there? 12. Each carrying of atomic mass is 12. So 12 into 12. Plus how many hydrogens are there? 22. What is atomic mass of hydrogen? 1. So 22 into 1. Plus how many oxygens are there? 11. Each oxygen atom atomic mass is how much? 16. So 11 into 16. So 144 plus 22 plus 176, you will get 342 atomic mass unit. Second example, CuSO4.5H2O. Atomic mass AMU of copper is 63.5 and sulfur is 32, oxygen is 16 and hydrogen is 1. Now let us see relative molecular mass of copper sulfate. CuSO4.5H2O. Cu, how many are there? 1. 1 into each copper atomic mass is how much? 63.5. Plus sulfur, how many are there? 1. So 1 into 32. Plus oxygen, how many are there? 4. Each atomic mass is 16. Plus, see here, dot 5H2O. That means it has got 5 molecules of water. So 5 into bracket open, you are going to calculate the molecular mass of 2 into 1 plus 1 into 16. This is H2O. 2 into hydrogen atomic mass 1 and 1 into oxygen atomic mass 16. So 2 into 1 plus 1 into 16 is how much? 18. So 5 into 18. You are going to add up all these values. You will be getting 159.5 plus 5 into 18 is how much? 90. Total it is 249.5 atomic mass. Percentage composition of an element in a compound. Formula is total weight of the element in one molecule divided by gram molecular weight of the compound into 100 because it is percentage composition. Let us see a numerical. Calculate the percentage mass of water in washing soda crystals. Formula of washing soda crystals is Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. Sodium atomic mass is 23, carbon atomic mass is 12, oxygen atomic mass is 16, hydrogen atomic mass is 1. Now solution, relative molecular mass of Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. How many sodiums are there? 2. Whose atomic mass of each sodium is 23. So 2 into 23. Plus carbon, how many are there? 1. 1 into each carbon atom atomic mass is 12. So 1 into 12. Plus how many oxygens are there? 3. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Okay. Plus 10 into, because 10 molecules of water. So this 10 belongs to this particular molecule H2O. So in the bracket you will write 2 into 1. Hydrogens are 2, no? Each carrying atomic mass as 1. Plus oxygen, how many are there? Only 1. So 1 into atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Now if you add multiply 2 into 23, 46 plus 12 plus 48 plus 10 into 18, 180. So this entire Na2CO3 is 106 and water is 180. But total molecular mass is 286 atomic mass unit. But in the question, he has asked to calculate the percentage mass of water. Only water. So what you will do is total weight of water divided by gram molecular weight of the compound into 100. What is the total weight of water here? 10 into 18. This 180 belongs to water. 286 belongs to the entire compound. So total weight of, you wanted to calculate the percentage mass of water, how much amount of water is present. So 180 divided by gram molecular weight of the compound. The total weight of the compound is how much? 286 AMU. So 180 by 286 into 100, you will get 62.9 grams of water, and percentage value you will calculate, percentage of hydrogen is 62.9. So this is how you calculate the percentage composition. Mole concept. Mole concept means here we are going to consider number of moles. What is meant by a mole? The mole, one mole of any species, either it may be an atom or molecule or ion. So one mole of any species is that quantity in number having a mass equal to its atomic or molecular mass in grams. So here we are going to consider the number of particles which are present in 1 mole of a substance. So number of particles present in 1 mole of a substance is constant value, that is 6.022 into 10 power 23. This number you call it as Avogadro number. This is a constant value. For instance, you have 1 dozen means 12, 1 pair means 2, 1 square means 20. Like that we are having fixed number, like that number of particles present in 1 mole of a substance. That means either it may be any of these species, it may be atoms, molecules, ions, whatever it is, it will be 6.2022 into 10 power 23. Its value is fixed. And molar mass of the atoms is also known as the gram atomic mass. For example, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 U. So gram atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 gram. So 1 mole is represented as 6.022 into 10 power 23 number. That relative mass is grams. So this is a fixed value. How do you know what is atomic, this Avogadro number? For instance, if you take 1 gram of hydrogen, it will contain the same 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms of hydrogen. If you take some 4 grams of helium, those also will contain the same 6.022 into 10 power 23 number of atoms. That value will be same. Only thing is the size of the particles may vary. For instance, if you take 1 dozen of books, they will be having only 12. 1 dozen of eggs, there will be only 12. 1 dozen of chairs, it will be only 12. 1 dozen of mangoes, you will take 12. But only thing, the size varies as well as the shape of that particular particles will vary. Similarly, if you are talking about one Avogadro number of that particular element, for example, 1 mole of hydrogen, they contain 6.022 into 10 power 23 number of atoms. If you are talking about 1 mole of sodium, they also will contain 6.022 into 10 power 23 number. For instance, if you are talking about a container containing 1 gram of hydrogen, so they will also contain the same 6.022 into 10 power 23 same number. As well, if you are taking 1 gram of sodium, they will also contain same 6.022 into 10 power 23. This number will be same. 6.022 into 23 particles will be present in the both hydrogen as well as in the sodium. Only thing, the size of the particles will be small here, but the size of the particles will be large. For example, I told you 1 dozen of books means how much, or if you are talking 1 pair of books means how much, the size of the books will be like this. This is also 1 pair. If you are taking 1 pair of balls, they will also be 2 only. 1 pair. This is also 1 pair. This is also 1 pair. Is the number changing? This is 2. This is also 2. Here also 1 gram of hydrogen and 1 gram of sodium. This is 1 gram of hydrogen and this is 1 gram of sodium. both of them will contain 6.022 into 10 power 23 particles here. Here also you will have 6.022 into 10 power 23 particles. So there will not be any change in the number of particles. Only thing, the size will be varying. Here there will be small size, but here there will be large, because sodium is larger atom. Like how we have compared with the one pair of books and one pair of balls. So Avogadro number is constant. So we can calculate the Avogadro number of various other elements. We can compare with the carbon and other elements also. Now let us see the numerical. Calculate the number of moles of 52 grams of helium. Here number of moles is equal to, you represent by small n, given mass is given by small m, molar mass is given by capital M, given number of particles is n, and Avogadro number of the particles is given as n naught. Now atomic mass of helium is how much? 4 units, 4U, and molar mass of helium is, you are representing in grams, 4 grams. Therefore number of moles is equal to given mass by molar mass. This formula is very, very important. He is asking number of moles, n value you have to calculate. N is equal to given mass is what? Small m divided by molar mass. So what is the given mass in the question? Given mass is 52 grams. So 52 divided by molar mass of helium is how much? 4. 52 by 4 is 13. Second question, calculate the number of moles of 12.044 into 10 power 23 number of helium atoms. 1 mole is already Avogadro number I explained, 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms. Then what is the number of moles? Number of moles is equal to given number of particles divided by the Avogadro number. N is equal to capital N by N naught. Given number of particles is how much it is given in the question? 12.044 into 10 power 23 divided by Avogadro number is 6.022 in 10 power 23. So this goes one time and this goes 2 times. 10 power 23, 10 power 23 cancel. So you will get 2. So the number of moles is 2. So this is about the concept of Avogadro number. This is very, very important concept. Calculate the mass of 0.5 moles of N2 gas. Nitrogen molecule. Molar mass of N2 is 28 because each atomic mass of nitrogen is 14, but N2 no, so 2 into 14 it is 28. So number of moles is given by the formula given mass by molar mass. So already we have done, and the numerical number of moles is equal to given mass by molar mass. N is equal to small m by capital M. So number of moles is equal to, given in the question, 0.5 is equal to given mass you have to calculate divided by molar mass, just now I told 28. So mass is equal to 28 into 0.5. 0.5 is half, no, 28 into half is 14 grams. Second question, calculate the mass of 6.022 into 10 power 23 number of nitrogen molecules, N2 molecules. Number of moles is equal to, you have the formula, given number of particles by Avogadro number. In the previous example I have explained, number of moles is equal to given number of particles by Avogadro number represented by capital N by N naught. So number of moles is equal to number of particles by Avogadro number, that is capital N by N naught. So that only, small n is equal to capital N by N naught. But already in the formula we know number of moles is equal to given mass by molar mass. So given mass is equal to, you can cross multiply, you know, number of moles into molar mass. So given mass is equal to number of moles into molar mass. That only I have written. Given mass is equal to molar mass into number of moles. So this I have cross multiplied. Given mass is equal to number of moles into molar mass. So given mass is equal to that number of moles into molar mass. That molar mass capital M into number of moles is what? Just now we have calculated. Number of moles is capital N by capital N naught, Avogadro number. So molar mass is 28 and N is number of particles is 6.022 into 10 power 23. It has given in the question. N naught is Avogadro constant that we know already, 6.022 into 10 power 23. Cancel this and this will go. So 28 into 1 it is 28. So you will have 28 grams. So these formulas are very, very, very important. Number of moles you will have given mass by molar mass. Then you have to calculate N is equal to number of particles by Avogadro number. So you have to be thorough with this formula.